Hi, and welcome to 2024 Saturday Sampler for Wagon Quilt Company. It is the reveal day, and I'm so excited to reveal it to you. Without further ado, here she is. This is the finished result, and I could not be more happy about how it turned out. It was such a fun quilt to put together in the end. As I did it, I just remembered all the little stories, and I'm just going to share some of those with you right now. When I first designed this quilt, this block right here, the Summer Stars block, was the first one I designed, and the layout. And that's it. That's all I had. And when I proposed it, that's about all I had. And then I had to fill in all throughout the quilt. I knew that I wanted some partial blocks and I wanted some focal blocks. And I just wanted it to really flow really nicely and go around, and I think that we've done that. I think that it's turned out so fun. The Summer Stars block is a really fun one that I plan on making in different sizes and redoing again and again, because it was so fun to make, to have it just be kind of graphic and bold and fun. I think it would be the cutest little baby quilts to put some borders around it. And then this block, the begonia block, was actually the last one that I did. And I think I said that when I did that month. The very last one that I designed, I knew I needed a block to go there, and nothing was really looking great until I just made up a block. And it ended up being a great one to show so that people could see kind of what they were in for when they signed up. That some of the angles are not super traditional. The block itself doesn't look like any traditional block that there is. And I think as you've gone along, then you've seen that these are not traditional blocks, and they're not always put together in traditional methods either. And that was on purpose. We wanted a skill builder Saturday sampler this year, and I thought that was really fun. There are two traditional blocks, these Dresdens and the Grandmother's Flower Gardens. I had to include the Grandmother's Flower Gardens because even though it's not your grandmother's flower garden, you need a little piece of her with you always, and I think that that's really fun. These Venus flytrap blocks were actually named by my mom. She and I were talking one night, and I was like, I just don't know what to call them. They're not really tulips, and they're not really anything else. And she said, oh, what about Venus flytraps? And I said, oh, that's perfect. Yes, let's do that. Because would your grandmother ever have Venus flytraps in her garden? I don't think so. The little bees were designed after the fact too, because I knew I wanted something kind of big and graphic right there. And the beehive came because we're the beehive state. We've got to have beehives on everything, right? Just kidding. No, but like in a garden, a beehive is perfect because you need those pollinators. And they were really fun because they came kind of last minute. Obviously before we ever released block one, then they were designed, but I just needed something little, and I thought because there was so much blank space above some of these parts, I thought that they worked perfectly. I did add their stingers after I quilted it. I wanted to not have the quilting go over their stingers because I knew that would like break it up visually just a little bit. And so I had their stingers added after. It was a little tricky. I had to do a little finagling to get it so that it didn't show through, but I used a pearl cotton, so it was pretty easy. You could also use embroidery floss. And I just did one that matched, I think mine is actually a charcoal color. I don't have the number on that, but you could use a black or a charcoal. I think both of those work really good. And there's just 3 little places, so use something that you have probably. I did also use pearl cotton in the binding, and I do have the number of that one. It's the Sue Sparkle Wonderful, and it is number EZ29, which is Wildfire. And it's a variegated pearl cotton, so it's orange and a little bit of like a corally color and a pink. And they kind of go into each other, really cute. And I thought that they stood out against the binding really cute. So that's what I used. I will have that binding method on our website, so you can find all the little details like that on our website. These butterflies I actually designed probably 10 years ago for my little girls' room. I wanted to kind of have a butterfly theme in there, and that's about as far as they got. I designed it and didn't really do anything with it, but I think that they're really fun and cute. These chrysanthemum blocks I designed with the idea that they would be these ones and these ones would be kind of companion blocks. So you can see that they have the same colors mostly. And I wanted to start with these because I wanted you to have this blue block in 2 pieces. I wanted you to be able to make 2 full blocks and then have some partials, because I wanted you right from the very beginning to think that there might be kind of a different setting to it. And as you can see, like, I don't think anybody could have guessed the setting. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, because it was really fun to do something just a little bit different, a little bit funky, a little bit fun. The worm block is one of my favorites. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I loved Sesame Street as a kid and he kind of reminds me of Slimy the Worm, but he is so cute. And he was really fun because he was just an easy little block to throw in there. The rose blocks, I know a lot of people had a hard time with. They were very labor intensive and there was a lot of repetition. And due to the pattern constraints that I had, I couldn't write out every instruction for every single one. I think that was a little confusing and I'm sorry, but I think it's worth it in the end to have this row of rainbow roses. I put them together in color order and I thought that that was really fun to kind of go in that order and have it really visually appealing, because we really like things in order sometimes. I hope I didn't freak you out too much by cutting off this little piece, but you'll notice that I waited to do that until we were ready to put the whole quilt together. That's the only thing that you really have to prep before you get sewing the sashing. And it's because I wanted you guys not to flip out about it. I wanted you to have a little bit of comfort in your heart before you did it, because then you could see where it was going and you could see that it had to go behind. So the sashing is super easy to cut out. I think that you'll have a good time with that. And then we've cut the borders to be long enough that you don't have to piece anything. And so those are really fast and easy too. And I hope that you really enjoy putting your Saturday sampler together. I know I did. I cut out my sashing one afternoon, and then one evening I was able to sew the whole thing together, and in the morning put my final borders on. So I hope that you had a great experience too this year and that you enjoy putting your Saturday sampler together. We would love to see it in the shop. Every year we love seeing those come in, and I hope that you really enjoyed making it and enjoy doing next year's too. There's a new designer for us. She's done a lot of patterns for Wagon, but never Saturday sampler, and she's doing it next year, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If you have any questions, go ahead and call. We will have some of these fabrics available for sale. A lot of them have gone back on the shelves, especially from those early months, but all of the little scrap pieces that we've cut will be available, and also some extra binding and some extra border fabric if you want to make it a little bigger or do a little bit bigger binding. I will have binding information on our website, so there are a few different ways that you can bind. You can even do my big stitch binding, which I did with the pearl cotton. And anyway, there are lots of choices because you get to do it. I will also have a label in the shop that is not on the quilt right now, but it will be on the quilt when it's hanging in the shop. If you remember, I designed a little applique block in place of these Grandmother's Flower Garden blocks. I knew I wanted these ones on my flower garden, but there were some people that wanted to do more applique, and so I designed a little block, and that actually is going to be my label. I'll put a little bit of blank background just left over from the previous months. underneath it and write all my things in a fabric safe pen, like a permanent fabric pen that will stay and stay. And that's it. I hope that you really enjoyed making it. I know I did, and have a great rest of the year. And please do show us, because we love to see.